What's up, guys? Bachata Rockstar here. Gonna do this one with the actual sound on this time, because apparently I don't know how technology works. Um, Here we go. Another game with RJM. Alright, so first things first, Swarmer Defense Bot. Very clear play here. We get a Scrapper, we get some trade row control. Yeah, we don't get trade, but there's two 4-drops out here, so the likelihood of us getting those is pretty high. And quite honestly, there's only Death World out there, so trying to get trade instead of trying to kill my opponent, I think is actually a worse play. And it gives my opponent more time to enact their game plan, and we don't want to do that because RJM39 is a good player. Okay, and then my opponent gets pretty unlucky here to only have 3 trade, but ends up getting an orbital shuttle. I think this is a little bit of a mistake because, again, what are you trying to do with the trade? You're trying to get Death World? Farm Ship? Frontier Ferry? These aren't aggressive cards. These aren't getting you closer to winning the game. They're just getting you trade. And I believe that getting trade just for trade's sake is typically going to be a thing that lets an aggressive player beat you down. So I'm not a fan of this play. Another argument could be made if you only have 3 trade to actually just get the Explorer, because at least then that will scrap and keep your deck efficient. Yeah, it's kind of unlucky, but I think the Lancer is actually the better play. So I end up deciding to go for this base right here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have a defense spot and he has an orbital shuttle. Giving him a base will allow him to enact a base strategy. I don't want that. Giving myself a base obviously is going to allow me to enact a base strategy if I so choose, but it also allows the defense system to be that much closer, or defense bot to be that much closer to being a 9 damage card, which is really powerful and really important. I don't like leaving my opponent the Lancer, but quite honestly, because he only had 3 on the last turn, it means he's guaranteed to have 5 trade on this turn, which means he's probably not getting the Lancer. It means he's probably getting the Farm Ship or the Frontier Ferry, meaning I can still pick up the Lancer and I can still maintain my aggression. So it is a bit of a gamble, but judging by the fact that he didn't buy the Lancer in the first place, my guess is he won't buy the Lancer here either. Yeah, so he ends up getting the Farm Ship. And I think that's good. Like, out of the 2 purchases, I like Farm Ship a little bit better. It draws, it cycles. Maybe there's a chance you pick up a Lancer or another yellow, and then it becomes a nice allied ability engine. You can scrap it to deal 4 damage later. It's a solid card, and I think it's the best out of the cards available. Especially if you're thinking what's going to help my deck and what's going to hurt my opponent's deck. Because, again, he has Orbital Shuttle, so he'll be that much closer to getting it with Farm Ship. He'll be able to draw into it more likely, thereby giving him a trade advantage and giving him a chance to actually buy some big bombs to turn the game around. Because, again, right now, I have the aggression edge, and I have a little bit of the defensive edge because I have a base and he doesn't. So getting a lot of trade to then get some big bombs to swing the game back in your favor is a viable strategy, and I think this is the correct play. Oh, and he picks up a Stinger too? Good, good. See, now he's given himself a chance to take out my base too if it comes up. So I think this is the correct play here. But again, we're going red, green. We're going aggressive. We're grabbing the cards with the big red circles on it. He has basically all trade at this point, and so us jumping ahead in terms of damage, us jumping ahead in an arms race is definitely the correct play here. I don't like the fact that I have to leave him Lancer by doing this, because again, Lancer is gonna kill my base with just itself, so that's quite unfortunate. But Ravager is gonna give me a chance to take away those high cost cards that he could be aiming for with his farm ship and his orbital shuttle. So in all likelihood, he's probably going to have a lot of trade here and will probably pick up the shipyard or the Death World. So maybe we get a third shot at Lancer too. Entirely possible. He hasn't really shown a proclivity to go after it. Yep, he's got 7. And so he decides to pass up Death World to go Federation Shipyard. I think in a vacuum, Fed Shipyard is a better card. But I think in this specific case, you've already got plenty of trade. I think getting Death Roll is actually a little bit better. It potentially gives you card draw. It gives you 4 damage, which is something that you're going to need. Again, you got to win the game. And it still has 6 health, so you could argue that's a better card. Federation Shipyard is typically only good if you're going to top deck a bomb. And the problem is there's no other bombs out there. And you also forego getting a Lancer here as well. So I think if you're going to not get the Lancer, I like getting Death World as opposed to the Federation Shipyard. You know, keep your foot on the gas here. So I end up scrapping the cargo pod, and this is just a flat out mistake. Scrapping Death World, scrapping the orbital platform, getting rid of the bases. It's a much better play. Yes, I realize we have some desire to form a base deck, but Cargo Pod, getting rid of Cargo Pod is kind of useless. In fact, Cargo Pod would be better for our deck because we have a couple of greens and we could actually utilize that card. So this is absolutely flat out a mistake on my part. But we end up managing to get a Burrower, so not so bad. I guess that's an upgrade. That's very lucky. Oh, and then it puts a cargo pod right back. That's just really lucky on our part. So he ends up picking up the Frontier Ferry 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that's fine. He's kind of painted into a corner now. He has to play defensively at this point, and so if you're gonna do it, you got to commit to it. And getting Frontier Ferry is a good way to commit to it. It heals, you know. He doesn't have any scrap, I don't think. I also think there's something to be said about going orbital gun platform, scrapping the Stinger, grabbing the Lancer, so that way you have some defense and some offense. I actually like that better. I'm kind of talking myself into that play. But Frontier Ferry's fine. If he wants to keep the Stinger, Frontier Ferry's fine. If he's okay with losing the Stinger, orbital gun platform, Lancer is better. He's got the farm ship. You know, that'll combo with the Lancer. It'll combo with the orbital gun platform to maybe upgrade to something huge. I don't mind this play. I think this is a slightly better play, but I think this is fine. If it's a mistake, it's a small one. Yeah, I got to get the scrapper. I got to keep it away from him. So game plan's pretty clear at this point, right? Scrap hard, grab damage, aggro him out. Like, this is the plan. So we know what we're doing now. Let's go about the business of killing him. All right. Oh, this is such a great card for his deck. This card could actually swing the game for him. I was actually pretty sad he managed to pick it up. 7 damage, 5 healing, double allies. You know, he's got yellows, he's got blues. Like, this is really good for him. So, do we wise up here? Yeah, we scrap the Transnexus, which is good. So, here's another, I think, mistake that I make. Giving him an opportunity to get Infested Moon or Death World Like, why am I scrapping the cargo again? I think this is me getting greedy and going for the Infested Moon when I don't really need it. I have the damage advantage. I have the scrap advantage. Let's throttle his choices. Let's keep all the choices away from him. Anything that could potentially win this game, we should be trying to keep away from him. But we're not doing it. And this is another mistake on my part. So, but at least, hey, we finally pick up that Lancer. That's good. And hey, we got a base out there. So, and he's down to 27. So he's definitely on his heels at this point. So he heals for 4. He gets low colony. Yep, yep. Probably going to scrap this to kill that. I like this play. Low colony is an excellent comeback card. It pairs really well with his Federation Shipyard too, giving him 5 trade and a top deck and 3 heal and 3 damage. So if he can lay those down, maybe pick up this orbital gun platform, form a base strategy, this is a really key card towards it. And he's got orbital shuttle here, so that's another great card towards the base strategy. So I have to be aware that's what he's doing and counter appropriately. And I think the way to counter appropriately would be to steal his bases and to acquire damage. So you're going to see me start focusing on that moving forward. All right, so I got to take bases away. There's no way I can let him potentially get 2 orbital captured outposts, excuse me. So I think it's better than the orbital gun platform in that sense. If it was only 1, you could convince me to get the orbital gun platform, because maybe that I can flip that into Infested Moon, or I can flip that into Star Fortress. But captured outpost is really good. Just blocks for 3, draws cards. Like, again, because I'm looking to be aggressive and I'm looking to scrap really aggressively, the more card draws I can get, even if they force me to discard, the better. So, oh, we get very lucky. This does not pair with any other blues. Oh, wow. He paired it with the blue. He would have top decked Infested Moon or Star Fortress. Now he puts Captured Outpost in his deck. Whew. Dodged a major bullet here. Yeah, we got to get rid of Star Fortress. Again, I think I'm being greedy. Although he is running a lot more yellows, so Star Fortress I think probably is the way to go. Um, but since I'm killing this base, he may not have enough for Star Fortress, but I don't think I can risk it. I think letting him potentially get Star Fortress is a big mistake. But I do run the risk of him grabbing Infested Moon, so hopefully that doesn't happen. And he ends up scrapping his Stinger to get a fighter base. I like this play a lot, actually. Um, it's going to give him more yellows. It's going to give him more protection. It's potentially going to start a discard, a trend towards discarding, which is actually going to hurt a deck like mine, because the more efficient you get, the more discards hurt you, and the more likelihood increases that you're going to discard cards that are really valuable. So, unless a sexy 2-drop comes out, I don't really care to put a trade hauler into my deck. Again, I'm looking for aggression, so I know the Burrower is going to trigger a draw. So if there was something out there for 2 that I thought was really important for me to potentially draw into my hand this turn, I would buy it first. But since there isn't, again, I'm not trying to get trade hauler. I'm just going to play this, draw the cards, see what happens. It sucks, though, because this does bury these 3 cards at the bottom of my discard pile, which is pretty unfortunate. Hey, good news is we get 3. We pick up a Falcon. Again, it's more cycle, more damage, more yellows being kept away from my opponent. So here's a bit of an odd play. Actually, no, never mind. He buys the incinerator. That's fine. I was thinking of a play that's actually coming up. Yep. Keep the Viper, do all the damage we can, scrap the card. Man, gotta feel like this game is over here. If he doesn't kill anything. Oh, there's the combo we were talking about. So here's another mistake I think he makes here. Like, what's the point of grabbing that card? You have 5 trade. You have a top deck. Why not get this gun platform? Why not put down, get 3 more damage, make sure that you kill both these bases, right? Why not get the defense system? If you have another red, that's 4 damage and still 5 protection, which will blast through here. You know, you don't get the yellow ally, so maybe that's important, but okay, a 2-drop is just bonkers to me. I just do not see the point of doing that. Because he only gets 1 discard. Right? Like, what is he trying to do? Defense system, orbital gun platform? Yeah. See, but now, like, this card's in your deck again. Like, you're going to draw that again. You know? And the thing is, like, protecting your own face when you're already at 9 is the most important thing you can do. Buying this card, to me, is a large mistake. And not sure if it costs him the game, but it potentially could. Oh, but we just get a crap draw here, though. Ooh, man. Oh, no, another turn of this combo? That is very bad. Yeah, see, now he does it. Oh, wow. What the fuck? And then he gets orbital... oh, look at this. Wow. See, this was the combo that we were afraid of, right? This is the combo we were afraid of. We were afraid he was going to just wall up, have Loyal Colony out there for 5 fucking turns, and then we have no way of coming back. But we get a little lucky here in a sense that Ravager is a card and it's sick. Oh yeah, look, see, Loyal Colony's still out there and we're at 18. You know, effectively 15, and he's at effectively 20. So we're going to have to draw really well in this next couple turns. But the good news is we're really scrapped down. I think we only have 4 starters. So the likelihood of us drawing into a huge hand is pretty high. Wow, and then he drops the incinerator. Oh, but look at how lucky we get. Like it's lucky for him in a sense that he gets a scrap and then he gets to, you know, protect Loyal Colony and potentially keep it around for a little while longer. But we get lucky in a sense that he doesn't do enough damage to kill us on this turn and probably doesn't have enough damage to kill us on the next turn. Scrap the gate ship again, trying not to give him anything to come back. Draw again. Damage, damage. Good. Gotta kill both bases. Didn't have enough to punch through. But now we get him down to 13, and we just gotta batten down the hatches here. We don't buy anything. Nothing on this board's gonna contribute to our win. Top decks the incinerator. Oh, and draws the incinerator. Wow. Look at that. I would say this. He probably has nothing moving forward, though. He's probably gone through all his good cards at this point. Oh, look at that. So we killed the 2 cards that actually do something. Like, Fighter Base has to combo, and if it doesn't combo, it's just a wall. So that's why we left that one up there. You know. Oh, and he kills. Oh my goodness. Okay. Whew. Very lucky. He didn't combo yellows. He just got trade. You know, Orbital Shuttle, like I said, it's a good card, but if you don't have enough bases to go with it, it doesn't do anything. He got very unfortunate to not draw a second base and combo those together and heal up a little more. 17 might have put him out of range. Or not. A small game. Feels good to win, for sure. Deck was incredibly efficient by the end. We had our game plan. We got lucky to execute it, you know. We're pretty much in control the whole game, but you can see that RJM strategy almost came to fruition as well. And sometimes it does come down to whose strategy can be enacted not only the fastest, but also the most efficiently. And ultimately, if you have equal damage and equal protection, like equal commitment to protection and equal commitment to damage, damage usually wins. It's usually easier to acquire more damage than it is to acquire more healing and more defense. Like, it's usually not the same ratio. Excuse me. Um, but I like most of his choices, and I think we made two pretty glaring errors in terms of scrapping. And I thought he made two fairly glaring errors. So, in my opinion, those two would kind of cancel each other out. But I think his game plan was a little too defensive oriented, and mine was very offense and efficiency oriented. And I think that's kind of a lesson that you can take into most games is remembering that the way that you win is by killing your opponent. And sometimes we get focused on building the best deck to the detriment of getting the most damage and killing our opponent. You know, it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm going to buy this, 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 and then I'm going to make a fancy play, and then I'm going to buy an 8 drop, and then that 8 drop will win me the game. Well, if you never draw the 8 drop, it doesn't matter. And if your deck isn't efficient enough to allow you to get the 8 drop over and over and over again, it's just a card. It's only one card. It's a very powerful card, but ultimately its impact is lessened by the fact that it's got a bunch of other very weak cards around it diluting its effect. And this is why scrap is so big and is so important, is because it allows you access to your better cards faster and more often. And that's the thing that won me this game, was I had access to my better cards, and I was a little bit faster and had a little bit more damage, and I was able to weather his storm just enough for me to counter strike and win the game. So, yeah. Just remember, guys, you got to kill your opponent to win. You got to go about the business of winning and go about the business of killing your opponent. So, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Hopefully the sound works this time, and I'll see you all later.